Alright guys, um, this is Reflex from the end of the video, speaking at the start of the video. It's very confusing, but there's a few things I forgot to mention at the start. The gameplay of the archetypes that you'll see in this video aren't of the highest caliber or skill just yet, as I was just merely showcasing the abilities. If you want more advanced and in-depth guides of each of the archetypes, sorry, uh, you can just leave a comment down below. I will get to doing advanced guides on each of the archetypes, um, but if you leave me a comment down below, I will know what archetypes do first. Alright, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this guide was useful to you. Hey guys, welcome to this video I'm releasing. I actually got recommended to release a video by one of my viewers and subscribers, Ambrosia, to sort of explain how Bloodhunt works and what my thought process is whenever I am playing Bloodhunts. So first off, we'll go through the basics of Elysium. This is Elysium. It's kind of like the main lobby when you spawn in, and here you can pick up quests from vendors. So
Nice to see you.
you have Custos, and he can give you some quests to do. So I have a quest from him to find a book. It's quite fetch. I haven't found it yet, but I've been able to do dirty work, which is pick up explosives near the burning church. There are multiple vendors um, in Elysium. They're in like all these side rooms. There's one here.
What
Um,
a nice surprise. Hello there.
but not all of them will have quests at the moment. Either they just don't have quest lines, or you need to reach a certain requirement to get quest lines for them. Uh, you'll usually get credits for completing those tasks, or just XP, and you can then use them in the store to get cosmetics. Uh, Cosmetics give you no gameplay advantage whatsoever, so you don't have to feel pressured at all when it comes to spending money on cosmetics. Now, I'm gonna go on to the archetypes. Archetypes are your characters in Bloodhunt who you can play. Each archetype belongs to a certain clan. So, as you can see, the colors of these archetypes are in pairs. There's two, two, two. Enforcer's one, but that's because Enforcer's fairly new. So every clan will have the same ability. For example, the Bruiser clan will have Soaring Leap, which is performing a powerful jump forwards. This will stay consistent throughout the two Bruigers, and the only difference between the two Bruigers is the passive and the archetype power. The passive power of the Brute is the Brute replenishes up to half of their health while not taking damage. This is good for fights where you can quickly disengage and then you can just heal up without having to use anything. It's quite quick, granted that you don't take any damage. Shockwave Punch unleashes a shockwave capable of deflecting bullets. Is quite literally how it sounds. It's a one-way sort of shield that moves forwards. It pushes enemies away while also blocking their bullets but letting your bullets pass through. The passive power for Vandal is Adrenaline Rush. And what it does is you take less damage when there's enemies nearby. So if you're ever in a fight, you will generally take less damage. And your archetype power is a CC. CC stands for crowd control, and the crowd control effect of this archetype is you'll leap forwards and slam the ground, and you'll like lift the enemies up. This just it's shorter than your generic jumps, and it will prevent them from performing actions momentarily. There's a small stun duration, so you can't just dash out when you've caught them out. Going on to our next clan, we have the Nosferatu. The Nosferatu, their clan power is to vanish. So you become invisible, and you can move really quickly after going invisible. And this will stay consistent between the Saboteur and the Prowler. The Saboteur's passive ability allows him to go half invisible when crouching. So what this looks like is sort of like how if you remember active camouflage in Halo games, when someone's close to you, it's similar like that. I'll play the video, but I'll also show you some gameplay as well of everyone. See, like this. The archetype power of the Saboteur is Sewer Bomb. The Sewer Bomb is pretty much a gas grenade, and it will it won't slow people down. It will make them take damage, similar to the crossbow weapon of that you find in Bloodhunts. The Prowler. The Prowler's passive is Sense the Beast, and it's basically you're able to track people who move, who are very wounded, and you'll be able to see where they're moving. This just helps you chasing someone because there's little alleyways, there's a lot of places where someone can go while they're seriously injured, and this just helps you track them. Archetype power. This is scouting familiars. It sends out bats to an area, and it pretty much allows you to reveal any enemies in the bat's range. It can also detect people through walls. It's a really powerful ability. Personally, though, I'm not too much of a fan of this archetype, but everyone has their own playstyles. Next up, we have Siren. So, Siren is part of the Toreador. Sorry if I'm butchering that. But the Toreador clan. And what their clan does is projection slash dash. Is pretty much you send out a marker that everyone can see, but quite a lot of people don't pay attention to it because, you know, they'd rather be shooting at you than looking where the dash is. And then you can recast after you've sent out your projection, and you'll go straight to that projection. It's good for escaping, it's good for just like general flanks as well. If you want to set up like a flank or appear behind someone, you can use that. Now, Siren's passive, I recommend Siren if you're new, personally for me, because it allows you to be able to feed on civilians without being bloodhunted. So I'll speak about Bloodhunt after these archetypes. So Kindred Charm. Civilians in the Siren's vicinity become charmed, making them faster to feed on for the Siren and their team. Charmed targets will also act friendly towards the Siren and their team, not triggering a breaking of Masquerade while affected except if killed. I will explain Bloodhunts after I go through all the archetypes. Archetype power. Blinding Beauty. Slowly erupt into pure beauty, blinding and damaging all nearby enemies. So it's pretty much a huge shockwave, and it blinds people and it damages them. Once again, I'll show a gameplay of all these characters and their abilities and how it works. For Muse, once again, the clan power will be the same as Siren because they're part of the same clan. Her passive power is Final Act. When downed, the Muse regenerates slightly faster and their cooldowns are instantly refreshed. It also doesn't say it here, but the Muse is the only class, I believe, that can actually cast abilities while downed. So if you get downed in a bad spot, you can just teleport away and then regenerate. Granted, your abilities casting is very slow when you're downed. Archetype power, rejuvenating voice. So what this does is that you pretty much heal yourself and the people around you over a duration. You can cancel it early if you're being pushed. But yeah, taking damage interrupts your healing as well, or if you cancel it. Now, this is so far my favorite character, because personally just matches my playstyle quite a lot. So, clan power is Flesh of Marble. You harden your skin for a brief duration, turning you fully invulnerable as long as offensive actions are not used. So this might be a bit confusing, but basically once you activate the ability, you will not be able to take any damage whatsoever for a short period of time unless you start shooting, you use an ability, or you melee. So as long as you don't use any sort of abilities, but you can like run away, you can reposition. You can also switch weapons, which I use I run shotguns quite a lot with Enforcer. Sorry, excuse me. And when I'm playing Enforcer, I run shotguns, and if I'm trying to get close to someone, or I'm running out of ammo in my AR, I will activate Flesh of Marble, and I will go close, and I'll get a free shotgun shot off, because that's what Flesh of Marble allows me to get. Enforcer's passive power is Subjugating Presence. Nearby enemies have their movement speed slowed. The Ventru, which is the Enforcer's clan, is also alerted when the enemy would step into their presence. So pretty much you have like an area around you, and if people step into that, you get alerted, as well as the enemy's movement speed is slowed in that area. Your archetype power with Enforcer is it's a CC ability, but it's not a hard CC ability, it's a soft CC. It's Unyielding Charge, rush forwards dealing moderate damage and silencing enemies for a brief duration. Silence enemies cannot use vampiric powers while affected. So what essentially this means is that when you dash forwards, you will deal damage to them, I think it's about 20, and they won't be able to use any abilities, so they can't dash away, they can't then CC you, or stun you, or damage you, or heal for a short period of time. Okay, so that's all the archetypes. Now I'm going to go through the mechanic of Bloodhunts. So, in the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodhunt, there's a mechanic where you have skill points and you gotta devour or feed on civilians in order to upgrade your cooldowns or your melee damage. However, if a civilian sees you, it will initiate a blood hunt, or if you kill a civilian, it will initiate a blood hunt. What this does is that when a civilian sees you, they will call for a blood hunt, and you are revealed to every player in the lobby, and they will be able to hunt you down for extra XP gains. So generally, you don't want to be blood hunted. So when you're taking out civilians, you want to do it from stealth. But if you're playing Siren, you don't have to worry about feasting in stealth. Now, there's also these things called... Actually, I'll go through the perks as well. So, perks are just added bonuses for being committed to a character. So I'm a level 10 Enforcer. I'll have more perks than I have on anyone else. So as you can see, The level 1 perk, which everyone starts off with, is Bandolier. Start with extra ammo and capacity. Then there's Impervious, immunity from the red gas for a short duration after entering it. The red gas is the zone that moves forwards. Juggernaut, heavy landing now deals 25 damage. So what a heavy landing is, if you drop from high enough, you'll do sort of like a Superman landing, and usually that kind of just stuns you. It's like a punishment for dropping at high heights, but you'll be able to do damage from that now. That's what that perk allows. Knight, start with 50 armor and a spare. This is a really good perk, it's really powerful. Marshal, gain double blood resonance, but Bloodhunts last twice as long. As you can see, I mentioned the Bloodhunts. This is a risk-reward type thing. Blood resonance is what you get from civilians and from players. You'll be able to have more blood resonances the more players you devour, or you... I forgot the name of it. It's a very complicated name, but I tend to say devouring players. I'll explain more about the skill point system and the devouring of players when we get into the match. Melancholic, start with 2 melancholic blood resonance. So melancholic is a type of resonance that you get from a civilian, and this will help you upgrade your cooldowns, or melee damage, or passive health regeneration. Survivor, regenerate from a down state 20% faster. This is good if you're like playing, if you're in a massive fight and someone's not finishing you off, you can just regenerate completely quicker. Sanguine, start with 2 sanguine blood resonance. So far this is my favorite because what it allows me to do is regenerate 2 health per second during the start of the match. There's nobility, reduces blood hunt duration by 50%. Once again, I don't really... The blood hunts can mess you up, but if you play well, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay. So, let me go on to the type of weapons you will see. You can customize your character's gender, makeup, tattoos, the clothes here. Let me find out where all the weapons are. Okay. So, along your journey during Bloodhunt, you'll find many consumables, and we're going to take you through a list of them. There's armor, which is how it sounds. It protects you against additional damage on top of your 200 health. It gives you 50 extra health. A blood bag will restore 100 HP to you. So if you're ever in a fight, it will take about 6 seconds, I believe, or 5 seconds to fully drink a blood bag. Blood syringe. Blood syringe is similar to adrenaline shots or energy drinks from PUBG. So it will heal you over a period of time rather than instantly. I like to pop these right before a fight so that even when I'm taking damage, I'm still healing from the blood syringe and my melancholic. Not my melancholic, my sanguine. Crossbow bolts is a type of ammo for crossbow type weapons. High caliber is for your ARs. Low caliber, they're for your SMGs, your pistols. Shotgun shells, they are for your shotguns. Precision ammo, they're for your sniper type guns. Red gas neutralizer, this will allow you to survive in the red gas for longer, or give you a resistance to it for a short period of time. Now, the melee weapons in Bloodhunt are really fun to use. They're quite powerful, especially once you level up your melee damage during the match. You will find some fun in them. So when you die and you respawn, you'll be spawned in with a spiked bat, an AK, and a pistol. We'll go through the ranged weapons after the melees. There's a fire axe. I like to I like the fire axe because a percentage of the damage I deal is returned to me as health. Um, the same for spiked bats as well. Uh, all melee weapons, actually, sorry, I forgot to tell you this. All melee weapons will restore health to you based on the percentage of the damage you do. I haven't worked out the exact percentage, but I'll update it as soon as possible. The special ability of your Scourge Blades is the Lunge Slash. Essentially what it is it will allow you to lunge forwards and deal damage to an enemy. It's a gap closer, it's quite good, but Katana is definitely my favorite. It's a you get to deflect your bullets back at the attacker, and as it sounds, it's just blocking your enemy's bullets, and you'll be able to um, return to sender your firepower. Now, there's a lot of ranged weapons um, in Bloodhunt, and honestly, I've used them all. They are all really good in their own situations. Some are less situational than others. Some are just very good. Some are very niche, but they still work. You got your 9 barrel. So your 9 barreled shotgun. It's not really a shotgun. It's a rifle. Um, it's got a really good accuracy, and when you hold down the trigger, it will shoot quicker. It has 9 bullets in the magazine. Um, whenever you get a increased variation of it, so you got green, blue, purple, and orange. Orange being the rarest, green being the most common. Um, when you get higher tiers of this weapon, it'll give you a faster reload and increased fire rate for them. The AK is your generic assault rifle. Very good, is all round. It is a once again, this drops at green to orange. Effects of higher rarity, increased magazine capacity, faster reloads, and longer effective range. If you guys don't know what an effective range is, it's basically the range at which your gun will start to deal less damage. And the way to tell if you're outside of your effective range is the damage numbers will be darker, and eventually, the more you play it, the more you'll sort of know your effective ranges. You got your burst rifles. Now, the burst rifles are three round bursts. They got really long range and they're quite powerful. Higher rarities will give you more mag capacity, faster reloads, and even more range. Very good for mid to long range fights. You got your crossbows. Personally, I don't like these too much because I feel like there's just a better weapon slot for them, but it's good for locking down areas and possible escapes. It's a crossbow that is single fire. It's and the only bonus you get for getting higher tiers is faster reload, which is, to be honest, all you really need on this is to reload faster. It's got quite a slow reload at lower tiers. Got your double-barreled shotguns. Now these are very good at close range. The semi-automatic, it's got short range, fires multiple pellets in a spreaded form. Now, when using these, it's always best to kind of like cover weave, which is sort of hiding behind cover, shooting, and then hiding behind cover very quickly, all in quick succession. Getting the higher rarities of these guns will give you faster reloads, tighter spread patterns, and a longer range, which having longer range of these weapons is amazing. Dual crossbows, they are very fun to use. These are basically crossbows that blow up. They literally blow up on impact, and having higher rarities will give you faster reloads and extended mags. Your dual pistols are pretty much the same as normal pistols, except they shoot twice as fast because you have two pistols. Semi-automatic, they got limited. You got quite short range on them, but the damage is quite good if you can hit your shots. The effects you get at higher rarities is increased mag capacity, faster reloads, and extended effective range. The general rule of thumb is if you're going to get a higher rarity of something, you're going to get more mag capacity. Faster reload is a given, and range is also a given. Now, the light machine gun, this is my favorite weapon. One of my favorite weapons. I love using this, but I still use the assault rifle more, but I love it. Um, the light machine gun is a weapon that starts off inaccurate, but the more you shoot, the more accurate it gets, and eventually it will literally just be a straight line dot. So you have to continuously fire. Um, Again, at higher rarities, you get increased mag capacity, faster reloads, and longer effective range. So this is where you're going to start getting into your sniper classes. Your sniper classes are for long range battles, but this is the marksman rifle. This is a semi-automatic sniper that gives increased headshot damage, and you're able to shoot it as pretty much as quick as your finger can let it. So far, it's helped me a couple of times, but I've only used it once or twice. I've always swapped it out. Um, Higher rarities give you increased mag capacity, faster reloads, and effective range. The minigun I have not picked up yet. You get miniguns from the different camps that are laid across the map. There's AI in them, and if you don't tackle them smartly, um, you'll find yourself to be in trouble. Now the pistol is what you spawn in with. There's no higher rarity for the pistol, but it's a decent starting weapon. But you'll want to swap it out as soon as possible. Your pump actions now, these are really powerful. I love using pump shotguns. Um, Semi-automatic, high fire rate, fires multiple pellets in a spread pattern. Your higher rarities will be increased mag capacity, faster reloads, and greater effective range. Now, what you'll see here compared to like games like Fortnite, Apex, well, not really Apex, Fortnite is the main example. The higher rarities don't give you extra damage, so that can be a misconception some players have. The revolver, it's a, it's pretty much your generic revolver, has high headshot damage. Your higher rarities will be faster reloads. You get more recoil recovery and extended range. Silenced SMGs, these are very powerful at close quarters. If you can hit the headshots, it's got one of the quickest time to kills that I know, other than just beaming someone with a sniper rifle. It's a submachine gun, very effective at close to medium range, as an SMG should be doing. Fully automatic. It has limited mag capacity, but at higher rarities, you get more mag capacity, faster reloads, and even more range. This weapon, if you get the gold version, it's a beast. It's a beast. Now the sniper rifle, you will find them quite a lot around the map. You do really good headshot damage. Um, if I remember correctly, even the body shot damage does 120 damage, and everyone has 200 health plus 50 if they have armor. So it's very powerful if you can hit your shots. I don't know how much it does to the head. I haven't hit a headshot yet. I'm not very good with sniper rifles. You got your toggleable machine gun. So these have two fire rates. You have your slower firing rate for mid-range fights, and the quicker firing rate for close-range fights. If you're using the close-range version, its accuracy will be decreased. But the slower fire rate version will have more of an accuracy. At higher rank rarities, this will have increased mag capacity, faster reloads, and longer effective range. Sorry, excuse me for a second. Now we're on to the Tommy gun. Tommy gun is a weapon that has high capacity and is also a short range weapon. It can also be used medium range, but I much prefer it for close range. Your higher rarities will have increased mag capacity, faster reloads, and more range. So now we'll go on to explaining the gameplay of each of your class. So we're going to load into Bloodhunt, and I will see you when we go into the match to play some brute. And when we die, I'll show you the I'll show you how the death mechanic works and everything. So here you see a civilian. You see in the bottom left below our health bar, there's three sort of dots next to the health. That shows us how many skill points we have. If they're highlighted, that means we can upgrade it. As you can see, Melancholic, 10% lower cooldown of Soaring Leap power. So I'm going to feed on him, so we get 10% less, 10% more power. And here we see our first enemy. Okay, so we've gone down and we got Diabolized. This gives him an extra skill point on the below. Do you see how some of the skill points below are now missing? Well, this happened when we were feeding on the civilian. Now that we're regenerating, we fully regenerated, and now we're back in the fight. There are some, so there are different upgrades, so 0 to 1 health per second, and this also changes quite a lot. So if you see here, this one gives you regain up to 1 extra life, so we're going to do that. So the civilian didn't see us, but now we can eat him, and we will get 1 health per second. As you can see, this is slowly depleting our skill points, and there's going to be less and less of them available. Now we have no skill points, so feeding on humans does nothing for us. We need to feed on players to unlock more skill points to level up. We're going to Diabolize him. So this gives us extra skill points for our abilities. So as you can see now, once again, on the bottom left, our skill points are now highlighted, so we got an extra point to put towards one of the upgrades of our abilities. When we die again, I'll show you how. See that passive? My passive activated, and we got instantly upgraded, healed to 100 health. Because we took damage. Well, we didn't take damage for a little while. As you can see, we're passively healing up all the health that we've lost. We can drink a blood bag to heal back to full. And we died. Here it says regenerating, so when it's all regenerating, what this means is that after this timer, we're gonna become what's it called, revived, and we can revive ourselves in an infinite amount of time as long as this timer goes away. There you go. We've now healed, and we can run away. Okay. You can climb up any surface. There's no fall damage in the game, but there is a stun period. Let's show it to you. Okay, we're not high enough here. It will be if we activate our ability. Drop from up here. Yeah, see? We get staggered. That's pretty much just a CC for punishing you for dropping from so high up. We're gonna let this guy pass because I want to explain more. When you press, you have a vampire vision ability, and when you press that button, it shows you loot spots. It shows you civilians and what upgrade they'll give you. The color will be based on what upgrade you'll get. And you also see chests that have high rarity loot. The chests will have like golden auras around them. Additionally, when you're dropping down, you can do a wall run to slow down your descent, but you can also kick off them, almost like as if you're playing Titanfall, and you can like, obviously at a slower rate, but this is a way to just kind of like juke out your allies, not allies, sorry, enemies. Additionally, feeding on a ally or a civilian gives you full health back. It regenerates all your health. So we're gonna see if we can win the match with Brute. Now, there's certain tips and tricks you can use for different characters, like while your main ability as Brute will be to but yeah, as I was saying, while your archetype ability is to block bullets, you can use it to push back enemies as well. Other than that, that's all there is to the Brute. There are some cool things you can do with him. And once the game reaches top 5, last place remaining, respawns will be disabled, and you won't be able to respawn back into the match. Right now we have 0 lives, as you can see on the top right corner of our screen, and we'll keep on going. Also, when you're in Vampire Vision, gunshots and enemies' movements will be highlighted on white circles, and if you can see an enemy, they'll be highlighted in red. Now, I don't know if any enemies have been bloodhunted this match. The next archetype, still part of the Bruiser clan, the Vandal. This one will have the CC ability that can knock people up instead of blocking bullets. So I'll show you the Bruger's ability in action once we get into the fight. So I will generally take less damage from fights. So she's another Bruger. See, she's using the wall jump mechanics. She's quite skilled at running away. Let's see if we can hit a... Okay. So here she was trying to use a melee weapon in order to restore some health. Unfortunately, because he hasn't upgraded his melee damage, he doesn't heal more than my damage. Yeah, I'll see if I can get a clip of the ability in action. Now in. We got modifiers activated now. So the gas spreads faster, and all loot locations are now going to be high tier. So every loot location is going to have a purple or higher weapon. There are multiple different types of modifiers. You have your Windy, Loot Royale. You also have Cultists, which adds AIs into the mix. Now let me show you how this works. So as you can see, if I crouch down, see I'll go invisible. This is sort of like the Halo effect. And then if I press Q, I'll run really fast while also being completely invisible. So yeah, we didn't have our ability to get away there because I'd used it before in explaining. But how his archetype power works. There's a gun up there. 2 guns. We got our sniper rifle and the LMG. We don't need an extra light because we already spawned in with the maximum amount. Let's send out my bats over there, see if there's anything. Okay. So if I show you here, see, it will detect those, and this is the blood trail, the passive. That will show you where heavily wounded enemies are. So here, this is probably another Prowler. Was able to track me. So Prowlers are able to track through invisibility. So remember, Sirens won't get blood hunted if they are when they're feeding, because they charm the nearby civilians. So I can place out my projection. So like say up there, I can then, you know, loot, get into a fight, and then I can recast by pressing my ability again, and I'll go up. So I'll show you how the archetype ability works. Once we do get into a fight. So, there you go. He's now blinded for a short period of time. So I'll show you how a blood hunt works real quick as well. Let's go to a ally. So Sirens can't get blood hunted while feeding, but they can if they kill a survivor. Oh wait. Here, let me just quickly kill this guy. And you see, we've now been revealed for a whole minute. So that's what a blood hunt does. Now everyone will be able to see where I am, as you can see. So generally speaking, you don't want to be blood hunted, because it can end very badly for you. You want to reduce the amount of time you get blood hunted whenever possible. Alright, now let's finish off the... So what you can do is... So if you saw what I just did there, I activated my E, which is the blind, and then I dashed. This makes it so that enemies have less time to actually dodge you and your ability. Here, I'll be able to explain it better here. So say if I place that there, I can do this, and then like that. It's almost instant. And people won't be able to dodge it, and there's a guaranteed blind. So that's down there. So we're gonna go Muse now. Muse's ability is that she can use abilities while downed, and she can heal herself and allies. It's quite a good kit. I actually enjoy playing her. I haven't found like a duo yet. Like I'm waiting to see if anyone. Waiting to find some people to play with, but once I do, I'll probably end up using Muse a lot more. So to tell if someone will give you an extra life or not, these guys will give you extra life. So if you see their entire bone structure, well, you'll see bone structure for everyone, but there's a very specific effect with these guys compared to everyone else. So onto the abilities. Once again, we have our projection and dash, which everyone from the Horidu clan, or the Triador, whatever it's called, clan has. I'm very bad at naming vampire clans, so so if you see now, we've been downed. I can cast my ability. Ah, we got picked up. Okay. As you can see, I teleported up here. I got double teamed on. Final one, the Enforcer. Enforcer's my favorite class so far. It allows some very risky plays, and you get like quite a lot of protection and leeway. Got some Scourge Blades up there. Amazing weapon. Gonna increase our melee damage since we've got the Scourge Blades. There you go, we can harden our skin now. There you go. When you harden your skin, you can't take damage, and that's why he went away. Because he went to reload his weapons rather than... This archetype allows you to have a lot of priority. Some would say too much, but they do have their setbacks. But we're gonna increase the amount of health we gain per second. So yeah, you can do plays like that.